Hi, everyone. Welcome to free mini reading night. I'm going to try to do this every Friday. And I'm just going to wait for a couple minutes to see who comes on. And if no one comes on for this first one, then I've got a great little quick video to do. Hello, how are you? I'm so glad you're here. This is my first one, my first free mini reading event on YouTube. I'm normally over at a centered space on Thursdays on doing free mini readings there. But this is the first one for my new channel here. And so I'm very excited to see who comes on. If you would like me to pull some cards for you, go ahead and let me know. And we will. Oh, hi, Malia. You want me to pull a couple cards for you? I was wondering. I was like, Junie B. Jones. Okay. Let's start. I've got 3 decks that I'm using. The Angels and Goddesses and Gods. And then I'm going to use the fractal cards, the Path of the Soul. These really cool vibration. The artist. Oh, they're there. The artist uses fractal paintings to make the cards, so there's a lot of vibration. And then I'm going to use this deck. It's called the Cosmic Deck, and I pulled my black bag out from behind my couch, the bag I used to carry with me when I went to do all my readings and healing work. And so I pulled the bag out because I wanted to pull out some of my old classes. And there was this deck of cards in there in this box. Oh, I don't know where the box is. Oh, this deck. And the cards were in numerical order. They had never been used. So I don't know where this deck came from, but I did a quick reading for myself and I immediately started crying. It was so pertinent. So I'm going to do one from each of those decks. Just clearing the cards. This is backwards. So just take a minute to take some nice deep breaths. Yeah, I was wondering, Junie B. Jones. I'm going to start with that. If you are on, jump on and say hi. If you'd like a reading, let me know. I'm happy. Okay, now let's pull. And from this deck, we will pull this one. All right, so your first card, Malia, is it's the goddess of protection, and she always comes to tell us that what we perceive, we believe, and what we believe, we can create. This card comes to people that are on a pretty strong path to their own enlightenment, and it's always a card that comes to tell you that no one can harm you. Hi, Leslie. Typically, when this card gets drawn, it's just a reminder that that the life force, the energy at the heart of like every living thing is, in essence, it's love. And you are part of that universal soul, part of that universal love. This typically comes to people that might be feeling a little bit disconnected from their source, and this card comes as a reminder of that energetic connection, that really all you need to do is tap into it and seek it. And you can do that by just kind of closing your eyes. At this point in your life, you're pretty guarded. I don't mean guarded like emotionally. I mean you're guarded like spiritually. You have a lot of protection around you right now, and the only thing that you need to work on is protecting yourself, like from your own negative thoughts and patterns that kind of bounce around in your head. Maybe some even a little bit obsessively. And so making sure that you're breathing into the space that you're in, making sure that you're centering and grounding yourself, making sure that all of your thoughts aren't on yesterday and tomorrow. This is where we create this day, this moment is where we create the reality, where we create our future. And so kind of looking behind you, it doesn't change anything. It can change your perception, and that's a good thing, but you're pretty clear about what's behind you, and you are pretty pragmatic about it. You don't give a lot of emotion to the past typically, although there are moments. But so dissolving like the beliefs that you have about yourself that cause you fear. Focus on the light, focus on the love that's inside of you, because it's like in there, it's pulsing it, and it just wants you to explore it. And then surround yourself with white light, because that's really helpful for us when we're attempting to kind of change the way we perceive the things that occur. And I did a video about perception. I think it's just posted, but it's a really good one. And then from the cosmic cards, you pull this amazing, let me take my finger off of it. It's the Hope card. And it's absolutely gorgeous. These cards are gorgeous. So this card always comes to people that are feeling a little bit overwhelmed, disconnected. You see that pattern there? That first card we pulled talked a little bit about being a bit disconnected too. So here's a bit of a validation. And this card always comes to say, don't be afraid. the things that you consider storms in your life are actually lessons. I mean, if you look behind you, they're lessons that you've learned so much from. So when you're feeling down, when you're feeling unsure, when you're feeling uncertain, don't forget that, I'm not saying don't feel what you feel. It's important to feel what you're feeling when you're feeling it, but then to let it go and not to grab onto it and hold on for dear life. It's about understanding that even when we're in a bad moment, emotionally, your history teaches you that those bad moments don't last. And so when I say kind of positive, have a positive outlook about it, I mean, just that understanding that that you've gotten through every storm. Your survival rate for every storm that you've been through is 100%. And so you need to give yourself a little bit of a break. And again, this card typically comes to people that are needing, to balance, to do some balancing and grounding work, because that will help you transcend like your inner fears or your doubts or your irritability as you move through these like changing cycles. And then this card comes to remind you that you've got like this magnetic connection to the challenges that surround you, and that will allow you to heal those imbalances with love. Emotional storms will cease to impact you as they have before. So you really have like transcended quite a bit. And then it's about clarity. It's about inner knowing, it's about strength, and it's about trusting all of that within you. You have the ability to manifest the life you choose. So it's important for you to focus on the things that you want. Imagine the things that you want. You guys always hear me. I said it 100 gazillion times. Look around you, everything that you see, from my cup to the coffee that's in it, to the card, none of this was in existence. It all began as a thought in someone's head. And they said to themselves, I have faith in myself, I'm going to try it. And even when they failed, they tried again. So it's just a matter of persevering and not getting attached to the moments that bring you down. Understand that those pass, and you've got the ability to create a better life for yourself, a better outcomes for you. And the more you practice doing that, the more you'll understand that you do, in fact, nothing lasts forever. Good feelings or bad feelings, good times or bad times. It's our ability to stay afloat on that ocean during the storms and during the calm, and realizing that, we're going to be okay regardless. And then you pull this really beautiful card from the Path of Souls. And this is a fractal deck, so it doesn't necessarily have like a specific meaning. You kind of look into the card. And what I'm seeing is just more validation from the first two cards, because what I see here is a woman who is self-empowered with a strong embrace of her feminine energy. This is the Goddess to remind you that your feminine energy, and I think the fact that you're about to have a baby is kind of why you pulled this card. but it's an important kind of in all the aspects that make you you. And during times when I feel like there's a little bit of an imbalance within you kind of normally, like the feminine masculine maybe isn't quite like integrated. And I mean that's okay for a lot of people. That's normal. But when you feel kind of that imbalance, just remember that not everyone fits into the box, the choices that we've been given. And it's more kind of about who you really are um, than what you've been told you should be. So, do you have any questions? Yeah, oh, good. Yeah, feeling disconnected from almost everything is kind of normal when you're in the last stages of pregnancy. Some people do very well in that area. Most women are absolutely miserable, and I always advise like not to make any major decisions during that time, because you really are making a decision based kind of on how down you're feeling rather than like seeing all the wonderful potentials and possibilities in front of you. So, but thank you for letting me read you. I hope that was helpful to you. I wish you light and I wish you love. Oh, let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna send you a link to um, it's a vibrational YouTube video that I just sent to Emma because she's been having some problems, and so um, I use cards, dandelion. I use some cards um, just as kind of a jumping off point. I get impressions. I work with angelic beings, light beings, and so I get tell her this or tell him that, or make sure this is said and make sure you speak this and make sure. And then I see colors, and each color means something different, and so I kind of um, whatever comes. But I start with some cards. I used to be on the psychic fair circuit back in the 80s, and I was just a straight up aura reader. Um, and then, as you grow and evolve. But I'm not sure if you were here when I started, but I will show you the decks that I'm using. Let's shuffle them. I have a lot of decks. I'm using the Goddesses and Gods deck, and this is called the Path of the Soul. These are fractal cards. They were created by an artist, and they're called Path of the Soul Destiny cards. And so there's vibration as you do your artwork. You infuse with vibration. And so there's not like a book with this. You actually read the vibration. And I really like this deck since I do a lot of energy work. I do a lot of work with vibration and frequency and resonance. And so, you know, I picked this up and I know exactly what it is I need to say. And then the last deck I'm using is called the Cosmic Deck. This is, I went into a bag that I used to use before COVID when I was teaching. And I was just pulling out some stuff about some old classwork that I had done for a video that I did earlier. And this was in there. It had never been opened. And the cards were all in numerical order. It had never been used. And I have absolutely no idea where it came from. And I opened it up. I pulled a card for myself, and I read it, and I immediately started crying. And I knew that was they're mine. I'm supposed to use them. So, Dandelion, we're going to pull some cards for you. I'm going to pull one from each. Ooh. It's weird because I don't know who any of you guys are, with the exception of Leslie, because she's using her name. But on when I normally do this on Facebook, and you know, everyone's like real names are there. So I feel like I don't know anybody. So, Dandelion, you pulled the Goddess of Justice card, which is a really interesting card. It's a card for someone who is not feeling quite balanced in a situation in your life. There's something that's going on with you that you are perceiving to be like unfair or unbalanced or imbalanced. And this card typically comes just to reassure you that like the justice and the balance is a natural state. It's kind of inherent in the universe, and it does exist. Even though you might be feeling like it doesn't. It's justice is actually one of the universal laws, like, you know, the law of karma and the law of attraction and like that. I think there's like 13 of it, but this is one. And this card's always talking about recent events, which you are perceiving to be unfair right now, or like you don't quite understand why it's happening or what went wrong. There are a couple really important lessons in this emotion that you're feeling regarding this Justice card. What you're attracting into your life at this point talks about kind of the things that you believe about yourself, what you feel your worth is, and what you feel you deserve. And this card comes also to remind you that you have a higher purpose. You have this wonderful, magical ability to create your own reality. And you do very well at helping other people see the things that happen to them more clearly. You have the ability to help people find their balance and help other people find their justice. But it's like your gifts, you're not using your gifts currently for yourself to the degree that you need to be using them for. So it's understandable that you can't see the blessings in this current situation. But this card is asking you to like surrender those stronger emotions that that bring you to kind of the edge of understanding, and just breathe into that space and allow it to teach you what it's going to teach you. Also understand that there are some things that you have control over, and there's some things that you don't have control over. The things that you don't have control over, there's nothing to worry about because there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. But the things that you can control, that's where you kind of need to be more proactive, looking for like creative solutions for yourself, and how to get you like around the obstacles while you heal some of the older events that have done a little bit to kind of damage your spirit and make you not trust people as much, if that makes sense. And then your last card is the fractal card. And this card is all about patterns. It's about patterns. It's about the dance we do here, and it's about renewal. And it's a beautiful card. This is healing. This is renewal, and it's healing. This is about repair, like in your relationships, with the people that you love. This card always calls you to ask for the good in all those who are around you. They're talking about your need to find your soul family and create like new like dimensions and dynamics within your relationships. And the healing power is there. It's around you now to do this. So the gifts that you've been given in your relationships, look for God in everyone, and that helps. That helps when we're in a difficult situation, because we want to be angry and we want to be resentful, and it's really hard for like the divine light to remain in those spaces. And so when you find yourself in a situation, whether it's how you feel about yourself or how you feel about the people that may be causing you to have some stress, send your gratitude, and let that gratitude be part of it, for the lessons that these events are trying to move you forward, so that you can let go of all of the junk that no longer serves you and step into your true like divine purpose. So I hope that helped you. And if you've got any questions, just pop them in. Put that in the wrong deck. Would anyone else like a reading? Miss Leslie? I'm sorry I missed you at the last Woo Festival. Your sister said that you weren't feeling well. So, but I was looking for you. Yeah, she said you weren't feeling well. I hope you're better. I'm sure you're better by now. All right, let's see what's going on with Leslie. What does she need to know? Ooh. I can't wait to read one of these cosmic cards for you. I have no idea where they came from. They were a gift from the divine. That's all I know. Okay, I see how we're going to play this, Miss Leslie. All right, so coffee. The artist inside of you wants to come out and play, and you kind of have not, you kind of have not been in a place where you've been able to do that. So there's this creative energy inside of you that it feels like it's getting stronger. And it's going to turn into an urge to express yourself, like creatively, spiritually. It's kind of a cool card. But this is about like ventures and project and ideas, like new ideas, expressing yourself creatively. And this is about you doing this in order to balance and heal like some unresolved emotions that you're still dealing with, which will like kind of in turn help balance you here and now. This is about healing physically, it's about healing spiritually, and it's about healing emotionally by allowing this creative energy to just like flow through you. Because there's a part of like your true authentic self that is extremely creative. But it's like you don't see it. You're like disconnected from it. And I feel like maybe you need to, I'm not talking about a soul retrieval, anything like that, but it's almost like you need to retrieve this joyful, creative little girl that you kind of put in a closet, like to protect her. But when you did that, you put her in a closet and she couldn't see anymore. There was kind of nothing in there to engage her, to inspire her, does that make sense? So it's time for you to kind of retrieve the aspects of that little girl and begin to show her creative joy, because that's really important. That's why it feels like your growth comes to a certain point, and then the change is so extreme because this little child is like hiding. Yeah, it's time to set her free. The child within us is the one that's flexible and the one that is adaptable and malleable to change. The adult, it's very much harder for us adults to have those childlike qualities of allowing change and embracing change and even finding it joyful. I mean, I remember when I was a little girl, even during difficult times, there was, it was something's going to happen. I don't know if it's good or bad, but something's going to happen. And we don't tend to do that as adults. We're like, no, no, I don't want it. I don't want to see it. And so this card just comes to remind you, you need to reconnect with that, retrieve that little girl out of the closet that you put her in. Because here's the thing, Leslie, you have the ability to keep her safe. And all you need to do is remind her, I've got this. I've got us. You protected me. And now I'm protecting you. We are together. We are one. And we've got this. And so I feel like that's really important, because your cosmic card, my dear, I'm sorry, happens to be the celestial teacher. This card always comes when you're ready to manifest a reality of your own choosing. Your own choosing. Not like things that will happen to you or will happen at you. This card always comes when we're ready to manifest. You've got the wisdom, you've got the spiritual acuity and acumen. You've got it all. But I feel like that blockage that you're dealing with the inner child work that you've done, I feel like that's the only thing that keeps you from like seeing it. But look in the mirror and realize that the woman staring back at you reflects wisdom, insight, clarity. You've embraced so much and you've let so much go that was so important to your spiritual growth. You really have cast off so much of the junk that just doesn't serve you anymore. And we do tend to bottle that stuff up inside of us just to get through life. It's like a survival mechanism. This event damaged me. This person damaged me. I'm just going to swallow it. I'm going to pack it away. I'll deal with it later. I got to go to work. But you're not a storage unit. You can't just keep shoving stuff in there. Eventually, especially as your vibration has risen so much, your vibration doesn't sit well with the lower vibration junk that you've packed away inside of you. So it's really asking you to bring it up, not to re-feel it or re-experience it, but to bring it up so that you can view it, send loving forgiveness to yourself or the event. Don't necessarily have to forgive people, and then letting it go. Because here's the thing I know, I learned this from my issues that I have with my own father. So he did a lot to damage me. And that damage lasted me into my adulthood. It continued to hurt me into my adulthood. Guess who it didn't hurt? Guess who it didn't continue to damage? My father. Because I was unhealed and because I had shoved so much away and down just to not have to deal with it. I still made my decisions based on that child who was damaged. She made the dumbest decisions for me as an adult, I'll tell you what. But so our unwillingness or refusal or inability to forgive the things that happened to us in the past, it doesn't hurt anybody but us. And that is truth. So this amazing card, this celestial teacher card, it's about embracing and sharing your own wisdom with yourself. Like if I sat down with you and I said, Leslie, I've got a problem here, girl, and I need help. You would start at A and take me all the way to Z, and you would have my problem solved, but you don't do it for yourself. And you need to start doing it for yourself. You're so wise. You're so intuitive. You're so tuned in. And so, unfortunately, this card always comes as well to remind you that it's time to re-energize around other radiant souls such as yourself. So I don't know what your soul family or soul tribe scenario is at this point where you are. Oh, that's wonderful. You're gonna make me cry. But it's time for you to find your soul family. You are the teacher, dear one. You are the counselor. You are the inspiration for others. And the courage is inside of you to do all of that. You just don't know it yet. And that's why I'm here to remind you. Work on releasing doubts, work on releasing hesitations. Be the divine soul you came here to be. Be the light, be the love, be the peace. That is your role, that is your goal. I am the light. The light is within me. The light moves throughout me. The light surrounds me. The light protects me. I am the light. And so it is. And then your last card is, it's called the Fertile card. And it's one of the fractals. This is a card of creation. It's a card of encouragement. It's a card about taking action. I love it. I love to pull one card from each deck and they all like go right in the same direction. But this card comes when the conditions are right. The time is now. The creative things that you have inside of you, the intuitive things that you have inside of you, the spiritual gifts that you have inside of you, it's time for you to bring them forth into the world. Manifest them into form. And if you get a chance, look at the video I posted earlier, a 20-minute, 19 or 20-minute video about perception. I feel like that would really help you. Do you have any questions? Oh, you're very welcome. So I don't think there's anyone else here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a card, just kind of a card for the group, a collective card, if you will. It's got. I actually pulled a card called Cosmic Connection, which I think is funny because I pulled it from the Cosmic deck. It's beautiful. I love these cards. But this card just wants the group to know that there's divine support and illumination all around us. The vibration, this carries a vibration of love and light and healing. And it's no coincidence that you're here, all of you, tonight. This is about connections and bringing greater clarity and reflecting the radiant light within us to out. And so I think that's a beautiful card to end with. There's this universal flow of love, and it reminds me of the way I perceive it when I saw Finding Nemo, when he came back from Australia on the tide with the turtles. That's how I perceive this energy of light and love to be. Like you have to just kind of jump in and then like grab a turtle's foot and just go with the flow, and it'll take you where you need to be. And then you'll know when you're supposed to let go and um, and yeah, you know, that kind of thing. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I'm so glad that you came tonight. I hope I was helpful. If you've got any questions, please feel free to, you can message me on this, or you can message me on private message, or you can message me on Facebook or Messenger. And Malia, I will put that, when I close this, I will put that that link to that really amazing. It's a frequency. It's I think it's excuse me. I think it's 1,111. It's considered like an angelic frequency. It's really powerful. It's got some good juju in there. So I will send that to you. So I wish you light. I wish you love. I thank you so much for joining me for my first live stream. And have a great weekend. I love you. Bye.